Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's deep dive. If you've ever stood in a long queue on a Sunday at your local DMart just to get those paisa vasul deals on groceries, you already know the vibe. Avenue Supermarts, which we all lovingly call DMart, is basically the retail rock star of the Indian stock market. Since its IPO in 2017, this stock has been a total blockbuster, turning small investors into big-time wealth creators. But what's the secret sauce? Is it just the low prices, or is there some serious financial engineering happening behind the scenes? Today, we are going to decode the real scene of DMart's business model. We'll talk about why smart investors are still keeping a hawk's eye on this Indian giant. We aren't just looking at the MRP, but the entire balance sheet, boss. So let's get started and see if this retail powerhouse still has the juice to give us those multi-bagger returns we all dream of. Now, let's talk about their everyday low price or EDLP strategy. You see, while other big retailers are busy doing massive sales for Diwali or Holi, DMart is like that consistent student who tops every test. They keep prices low 365 days a year, no kidding. Basically, they buy in huge quantities directly from manufacturers, getting massive discounts because they pay their suppliers very quickly, sometimes within days. In India, that's almost unheard of. This cluster-based approach means they open multiple stores in the same region to save on logistics costs. It's a pukka plan. By keeping their margins thin but their volume super high, they make sure the stock moves out of the store faster than a local train at Dadar station. This high inventory turnover is the real reason why they are so profitable, even while selling things at a discount. Here is the real game changer, friends. Most retailers lease their store space, which means every year their rent goes up and eats into their profits. But Radhakishan Damani ji, the genius behind DMart, had a different plan. DMart actually owns most of its stores. Yes, you heard that right. By owning the land and the building, they completely eliminate the headache of rising rents. It's like owning your own flat instead of paying rent to a landlord every month. Total peace of mind. This strategy makes their operating costs significantly lower than competitors like Reliance Retail or Big Bazaar. Even if the market goes through a rough patch, DMart is safe because their fixed costs are very low. This ownership model is the backbone of their rock-solid financial stability. They are not just a retail company. In many ways, they are a massive real estate play hiding in plain sight. Let's look at the numbers, because at the end of the day, money talks. DMart has shown incredible growth. We are talking about thousands of crores in revenue and a profit margin that makes other retailers jealous. Their return on equity, ROE, and return on capital employed, ROCE, are consistently high, which shows that the management knows exactly how to use their capital. They are very disciplined. They don't just open stores for the sake of it. They only open a new store if it fits their strict profitability criteria. This slow and steady growth strategy has ensured that they don't drown in debt. In fact, for a company of this scale, their debt-to-equity ratio is very healthy. For an investor, these numbers are like music to the ears. It's all about sustainable growth, not just short-term dhamaaka. They are building a fortress, one store at a time. You can't talk about DMart without talking about the legend himself, Mr. Radhakishan Damani. In the Indian stock market, he is known as the White Knight. He was a legendary investor long before he started DMart. He basically applied his stock market wisdom to the retail business. He is a very simple, low-profile person who rarely gives interviews, but his actions speak louder than words. He taught the industry that you don't need fancy marketing or expensive brand ambassadors if your product and price are right. His focus on unit economics is what makes DMart so strong. He understands the Indian consumer's mindset perfectly. We want quality, but we want it at the best price possible. Under his guidance, the company has maintained a very high standard of integrity and corporate governance, which is why big institutional investors trust this stock so much.
Now, the big question, the valuation. If you check the price-to-earnings ratio of DMart, it often looks sky-high. Many analysts say, "Arey, this stock is too expensive, mehenga." But here's the thing, quality in the Indian market always commands a premium. Investors are willing to pay more because of the predictability of DMart's earnings. When you have a company that grows consistently without taking on massive debt, the market gives it a high valuation only. It's like buying a high-end Mercedes. It's expensive, but you know it's built to last. However, as a smart investor, you have to decide if the current price offers enough margin of safety. If the growth slows down even a little bit, the stock price can take a hit. So while the business is fantastic, the entry price is always the real catch for any retail investor.
Is it all rosy? Not exactly. The competition is heating up. You've got Reliance Retail with its massive footprint, and then there's the whole quick commerce wave with Zepto, Blinkit, and Swiggy Instamart. In big cities, people are getting lazier. They want their Maggie in 10 minutes, and they are willing to pay a little extra for that convenience. DMart Ready, their online venture, is trying to catch up, but the competition is tough. Also, Amazon and Flipkart are always there. Can DMart's brick-and-mortar model survive this digital tsunami? Well, DMart's core strength is the monthly grocery shopping of middle-class Indian families who love the touch-and-feel experience. But they definitely need to level up their digital game to keep the young Gen Z crowd interested. It's going to be a classic old-school versus new-age battle in the coming years. So, what's the final verdict, boss? Avenue Supermarts is a solid, well-oiled machine with a visionary leader and a business model that is hard to copy. If you are a long-term investor who believes in the India consumption story, DMart is hard to ignore. Yes, the valuation is high, and yes, e-commerce is a threat, but their execution has been top-notch so far. Don't look for quick bucks here. This is a marathon runner, not a sprinter. If you have the patience to hold through market ups and downs, this Indian giant could be a cornerstone of your portfolio. But as always, do your own research or talk to your financial advisor before putting your hard-earned paisa into any stock. That's it from my side today. If you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe. Pir milenge. Cheers!